So now let's go ahead with the next topic, which is going to be a very important topic for your exam. One of the most important topic for your exams. It is going to be. Why? Because if you see that topic, the next topic, that is this one. Pay attention on the board, please. This topic, chapter number 29, beta. I want your videos to be on throughout now, please. Please, the request. Chapter number 29, it is a absolutely new section inserted by what? Finance Act 2022. The government is saying is to give benefit to the assessee, but indirectly it is to trouble us. Okay, now let me tell you how. What is the last date by which, for example, this is previous year 22-23. Okay. Now please tell me what is the last date by which a person can file the return. Last date, last, maximum last date. 31st December 2023. Is it clear? Which is under 139(4). Right or not, beta? Now the government is saying that you continue filing return under 139(1). You continue filing return under 139(3). You continue filing return under 139(4). You continue filing return under 139(5). You can do all those things, okay? Whatever you have done. But later on, if you feel that you have done a wrong computation of tax, you have done what? Or you have evaded some income. So you can come to us to what? Update the what? Return. But the government says that you should come to us to update the return only to pay tax. Don't come to us to update the return for refund of tax. Are you able to understand? I'm just giving you a gist. It is not as straightforward as this. We will not be able to complete also this topic today. We have to continue carry forward for tomorrow. It's a very dangerous topic. Very dangerous. And practical life, I will tell you that they have not updated the portal only on 31st July. When I was filing the return for one of the client as an updated return, so I made a request in Winman. I hope you know what is Winman. Okay. That's a software. So Winman gave a reply. Winman people give reply very fast. If you have any query. So they gave a reply. They have not updated the portal. What can we do? So in practical life, there is an issue over here with respect to this particular provision. Okay. Now I don't know today what is happening on the date of taking the lecture, whether they have updated or not. I hope they have. So you can update the return up to when, you know. Pay attention please. Up to when? Up to 24 months from the end of relevant AY. So what is the relevant AY? So what is the last date? Is it clear? But is the government going to allow you such a liberty without cost? Are they going to allow you this without cost? So there is a huge amount of cost involved in it. Okay. So what is the huge amount of cost? Listen carefully. Don't be in a hurry, beta. Don't read. Do not understand anything. Have patience. It's a very different kind of section. It's new for me also. It's new for you also. It's new for the entire industry. It's new for department also. We have never ever encountered such kind of provisions in the earlier part of the income tax law. So we have to be very patient enough. So let's see the provision and let's read and interpret. Let's not be in a hurry. Pay attention please on the board, all of you. Chapter number 29. There are questions also on this which we'll be solving after we are done with the chapter. Okay. There are practical questions I have put. Any person may furnish an updated return of his income or income of any other person in respect of which he is assessable under the Act for the previous year relevant to such assessment year. The provision given below pertaining to updated return are applicable from 1st April 2022. Updated return under section underline 139.8a. This is the return section. This is the section number of the return. Okay. When you file the return, you select under which section you want to file. 139, 1, 4, 5. This is 8a. Okay. Can be submitted at any time within how many months? Within 24 months from the end of the relevant AY. Is it clear? So let's underline this time limit now. At any time within 24 months from the end of relevant AY. For instance, updated return for AY 22-23 can be submitted on or before what? On or before what? 31st March 2025. Is it clear? Tell me one line by line, is it clear or not? Okay. Now, is this much clear to all of you till here? I have to go paragraph by paragraph. I am striking off this paragraph. This is clear to everyone. Okay, I am going ahead. You have to be very patient enough. Vinita, you have some doubt? बेटा वो 23-24 के लिए था कार्टून, 23-24 के लिए था ना. हाँ तो असेसमेंट यदि तो लिखा है इधर, मेरी माँ चेक करना क्या लिखा है. असेसमेंट यदि लिखा है ना, और क्या. क्लियर? चलो ठीक है. Shall I go ahead, beta? Chalo, let's go ahead. Who can submit? First of all, we need to identify now who can submit the return. Is every SSE covered or not? Let's see. Updated return can be submitted by any person, whether or not, underline, whether or not he has furnished a return under 139.1, 139.4, 139.5 for an AY, hereinafter referred to as relevant AY. Listen carefully. Listen. Suppose if we have filed a return under 139.1 earlier, okay, now you want to update the return, you can do so. Or 139.4 you have filed, or 139.5 you have revised, you want to update the return, you can update. Okay. Or if you have not filed the return only earlier, you forgot to file the return, okay, and now you want to directly file updated return, okay, you can do that also. Is it clear? So updated return is not necessary that you should have filed the return earlier. Even if you have not filed the return earlier, you can directly file what? Tell me. Within 24 months from the end of relevant AY at a cost. The cost is very high. The cost is very high. You will come to know the cost after some time. Other points. Let's see. Step by step. The following point should be noted. If a person has sustained loss for any previous year and he has already submitted return of loss for that year within the due date as given in 139.1, he can furnish an updated return for that year under 139.8a, where such return is a return of income. Now please read this once more and let's try to understand what is the meaning of this particular point. Okay. Write down in the bracket note 1. Okay. Suppose previous year 22-23, Mr. A has a PGBP loss of 10 lakh rupees. Okay. Now he what? Filed ROI on what? Tell me. Time. Now, therefore, can he carry forward this loss? Right? Now there are three options I am creating. Now, if he feels that his loss is increased, his loss will what? Increase. Loss will what? Increase. Second possibility, loss will increase to how much? Say I will take a number. Loss will increase to 18 lakhs. Okay. Second possibility, loss will decrease to say 6 lakhs loss. Okay. There is a possibility now if he files an updated return. Shall I go ahead? Third case, the loss will convert to what? Convert to rupees 10 lakh or rupees 15 lakhs what? Income. Okay. So now what the provision says, you know? He cannot file updated return. He cannot file updated return. Yes. He can file updated return in that case. This is what this line means. Read once again. If there is a loss, you can file updated return if that is converted to income. Check. Otherwise not. Can you see that? Yes or no? Now I would like to ask you a question. Why a person will come? Will anybody come? Yes, come beta. People will come because they will have a fear in their mind. Now, what if we get caught? If we get caught, then there is a larger cost as compared to the cost which you are going to pay in this section. The cost in this section is slightly slower, is slightly lower as compared to the cost you are going to pay if the government catches you. They will directly take 200% penalty now for misreporting of income. Yes or no? So you yourself declare it, yaar. Pay the extra cost, live in peace. Yes or no? You can just copy this beta. You can write over here, note 1, give the reference in your textbook, please. You can take a photograph of this, please. You copy this later on. But give a reference over there. Is it clear? Let's go ahead now. You have to be very patient enough. Other points, point number 2 I am reading. If as a result of, please see here, please start your video, please beta, please request. If as a result of submitting the updated return under 139.8a, the quantum of carry forward of loss or unabsorbed depreciation or MAT or AMT credit is to be reduced for any subsequent year, then an updated return shall be furnished for each of the subsequent year. Please check the provision carefully, then I'll speak about it. Now please tell me, we are filing updated return for which year? 22-23. There was a loss of 10 lakh rupees, right? We converted that to income of 15 lakhs, right? Now, is there a possibility or not that loss is getting carried forward to next year and we have set off that loss for the next year? Yes or no? Before filing the updated return? Just think. I am extending this example. Okay. Just see here. Arey, see here. Updated return filed on 15th of March 2026. Is it fine? Is it on time? Now, before that, previous year 23-24 ITR you have filed or not? Under the normal provisions of 139(1). You would have set off this loss, na? You would have set off this loss or not of 10 lakh rupees? Because that activity has happened before filing the updated return. So now later on, if you decide to file an updated return, right, for this year, see here, later on if you decide to file updated return for this year, are you not supposed to file updated return for this year also? This is what point number 2 has to say. Check please. You can take this revised photograph if you want. Because if you are filing an updated return for 1 year and your loss is changing, there is the possibility that you have set off that loss in second year. So you have to update the return of 23-24 also. Right, beta? Is everyone clear? So they have brought this provision to help us or to trouble us. Such kind of things they have done in last 5-6 years. I am very irritated with the subject. Practically, academically, it's okay. They will ask you simple questions only. But get into the practical life. Get into the grounds. Then you will understand the reality. Okay. So the 2 points. Is it clear? If there is a loss in your original return, can you file an updated return? Yes, if there is an income. And if you do so, if there is a change in the losses of subsequent years, you have to file updated return for subsequent years also. Right? Now let's go ahead and see who cannot submit updated return. Shall we read? Exclusion list. Whomsoever is not allowed to file what? An updated return. Let's see. When updated return cannot be submitted. It cannot be submitted in the following cases. If the updated return is what? Tell me. Not allowed. Okay. Because they want income. They want tax. This section is not for your benefits. Okay. In the updated return, we want income. We don't want loss. Is it clear? Second, forget about income. Forget about loss. If the updated return has the effect of what? Underline. Decreasing the total tax liability determined on the basis of the return furnished under 139(1) or 139(4) or 139(5) or results in what? Tell me. Refund or increases the refund due to on the basis of return furnished under 139(1), 4, 5 of such person for the relevant AY. We will not allow you to file what? Updated return. Say in original return your income was 10 lakh. In updated return your income is 6 lakhs. This is 3 year. In original return it was how much? 10 lakh. In updated return 6 lakhs. Is it a loss? No. There is no loss now. But if there is a reduction of income, so that could lead to refund now. We will not allow you that also. So what are they allowing? They are allowing only if your income is increasing. Are you clear? Otherwise they are not allowing only. They want money. They want money. पैसा चाहिए. ठीक है? Loss case not allowed. Reduction of income case not allowed. Refund case not allowed. Payable case, yes, come. File the return at extra cost till 2026. Okay. And we will not ask any kind of penalty from you. Okay. Is it clear? Yes, please. क्या करेंगे मेरे को समझ नहीं आया बेटा. Income. What is income? What is income? Income is after deduction, madam. That you are showing, talking about revenue. Revenue is of no use under income tax law. What is income? Income is after deduction, na beta. After deduction, your income should increase. Before deduction, what? Revenue is of no use under income tax law, Bhavisha. Okay. So be patient enough with this section. You have to be very patient. It took a lot of time for us to understand this, the objective of this section. See here, please. Please, beta. First case, who cannot submit? Loss. Second case, whose liability is going to decrease. Okay. Right? Or their refund will increase. Don't come. Third case. Third case has lot of points. Has lot of points. Okay. All kind of different kind of thieves are covered in this. Different kind of chores are covered in this. Okay. तो चोरों के लिए ये सेक्शन नहीं है. Let's see who are the chores, who are the thieves. Point number 3. Shall we read? A person shall not be eligible to furnish an updated return. Okay. If underline search has been initiated under 132. So if a search is initiated, you are not eligible for updated return. Okay. Second, if a survey is conducted, what? You are not eligible for what? Updated return. But in the bracket it is written other than subsection 2A. This is which survey? Let me tell you. This is TDS or TCS survey. Do you remember that? So in this case, can you file updated return? Yes. Because it is other than this, na? Yes, beta? So search not allowed. Survey not allowed. TDS, TCS allowed. Point number 3 and 4 is about that only, search and seizure. You can check. Not allowed, not allowed. There is some money found, bullion found, jewelry found, etc. in your place. Okay. Okay. So till now, who have been excluded? The list is long. Loss, reduction of income liability, search and seizure cases, survey cases. Okay. The list is long. You can turn to the next page. Still the list is long. Okay. Shall I read? No updated return shall be furnished by any person for the relevant AY. Where? Where? Point number 1. All these cases also you cannot file updated return. Okay. First, where an updated return, underline, has been furnished. If you have filed updated return once, you cannot file it again. Are you understanding? You cannot say that. I am filing updated return now. Acha. Once you have filed, now you want to again change. You cannot do that. Once you have filed, that's it. Is it clear? So otherwise you will otherwise you have a very big time not to file 2 years. You'll file multiple times in that year for the same year. Yes or no? Not allowed. Only once. Clear, beta? Sure, na? Step by step, beta. Second point. Where Any proceeding for assessment, reassessment, recomputation or revision, underline is pending or has been completed. Put it in box. So if there is any assessment proceeding which is pending, okay, or reassessment or revisionary proceeding which is pending, okay, you cannot file, or which is completed, you cannot file updated return. So 143.3 is already opened. 143.3 is what? Now you cannot go. Or it is completed, you cannot go. Because in that case, you should have told to assessing officer during assessment only, na, sir, I have hidden this much income. Yes or no? So once the assessment is completed or it is pending, you cannot go. If it is pending, tell you why you want to file updated return. Yes or no? So if the assessment is pending as well as it is, you will not be allowed to file updated return. Or even if the revisionary proceeding is pending or it is what? Completed. You will not be allowed to file updated return. Shall I go ahead? Third point, big time chores, big time thieves, not small thieves, big time Angrez types, Britishers type thieves will come in point number 3. Sina, these are not small thieves. These are the people who are got convicted under different dangerous laws. Check. The AO has information in respect of such person for the relevant AY in his possession under what? Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Okay. Sir, AO has information that you have hide some income under which law? Prevention of Money Laundering or Black Money Act or Prohibition of Benami Transaction Property Act, Smugglers and Foreign Exchange Manipulation Forfeiture of Property Act, and the same has been communicated to the assessee prior to the date of filing of return under 139(8)(a). So before the assessee files, these departments have communicated with you that a proceeding is going on against you under these laws. Are you able to understand? You cannot file updated return. We don't trust such people. No. AO has information that you have done something wrong under these laws. You are not convicted so far. You are not convicted means it is final. A show cause notice might have been issued against you under this law, or a raid might have been conducted against you under this law. Say ED has conducted a raid under PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering. So you might be under jail, your proceeding might be going, you are not convicted so far, but you have been communicated about that you are getting trapped under this law, then you cannot file updated return. Okay. For that financial year. Yes. No. Is it clear? Point number 4. Where information for the relevant assessment has been received under what? DTAA agreement. Check. We have got information from outside India. What information we have got from outside India? Regarding you? Regarding some escapement of income from foreign authorities. Yes or no? AO gets information from outside India or not? I have told you about this in 147 also, if you remember. In 147 also, the AO can conduct 147 based on information from foreign authorities. Okay. And last but not least, not last, second last in fact. The last one is general point which the CBDT may notify, which they have not notified so far. Second last. There is a prosecution proceeding already pending. There is what? Prosecution proceeding pending under this act, under the Income Tax Act. You cannot file updated return. Moral of the story, it is for Sida Sada people. Okay. Who are simple people, who have not done anything great in their life with respect to these provisions. There is already a prosecution proceeding initiated for the relevant ABA. And this has been prior to the date of his filing of return under 139(8)(a). You cannot file 139(8)(a) if your prosecution is going on. Last point, a general point, CBDT may notify, they have not notified anything luckily so far. Okay. So it's a long list who cannot go for updated return. Okay. Let's come to the previous page once again. Who cannot go for updated return? This entire 1.5 page is about that only, na, but ultimately. In different bits and pieces. First, if there is a loss return. Right? Second, if there is a reduction of tax liability, you cannot go. Third is what? Search. Survey, but in case of TDS survey, it has happened, you can go. Okay. Then comes, if there is an assessment or revision proceeding pending or completed, you cannot go. If you are given notice under different laws, like PMLA, like Benami Transaction Property Act, like Black Money Law, etc., Pluggers Act, etc., you cannot file updated return. If your information is obtained under DTAA, you cannot obtain, you cannot go. Or a prosecution proceeding is initiated against you under the income tax law, you cannot file updated return. Is it clear? Anything you would like to ask over here, please ask. No, not necessary. You don't have to remember all these laws. No. Okay? Don't remember all this. Not possible. Not required also. Is it clear? Now, suppose I am not falling in all these cases. Vinita, start your video. Suppose I am not falling in these cases. Then can I file updated return? The answer is yes. So, previous year, see on the board, 21-22. Just a second. So, previous year 21-22. I can file the updated return till which date? Last date? March 2025. Okay? Right? Now, I am not falling in any of the category. Nor my return is a loss return, nor there is a deduction of tax liability, nor I am doing any search, nor there is any survey in my case, nor there is any pendency of any proceedings under the income tax law, nor prosecution proceedings are pending, nor there is any, I have received any notice under different laws, nor there is any DTAA information which is received by the AO. Is it clear? I am a very normal assessee. Okay. So, can I file an updated return? The answer is yes. But now, as I have told you, at a cost. What is the cost? What is the cost? Let's see. The updated return to be accompanied by proof of payment of tax. And what? And what? The updated return. From here, the real journey will start. What blunder they have done over here. The updated return can be accompanied by proof of payment of what? Tax. Tell me common sense. If you file an updated return, listen carefully. Please see here, all of you. If you are filing an updated return, your liability is going to reduce or increase? Because if it is reducing, they are not allowing only. They are allowing only in case of increase. So if your liability is going to increase, listen carefully and tell me, are you supposed to pay tax or not? Interest or not? Yes or no? And 234F fee or not? If you have not filed the return earlier on time. Yes or no? That too anyways you have to pay. Anyways you have to pay that. There is no excuse in that. But apart from that, you have to pay some additional tax. That cost is separate. That's the reason you have to read the first line very carefully. Updated return to be accompanied by what? Proof of and circle additional income tax. Sir, what is the additional income tax? We'll see that about that later on. Okay. By virtue of explanation 3 CA to 139.9, an updated return cannot be submitted unless it is accompanied by the proof of payment of tax as required by 140B. Chalo, theek hai. Now listen carefully. Just be very patient now. Very patient. It will take time for us to understand, please, from here onwards. Till here, everything was very easy. It was very manageable, beta, till here. But from here onwards, it's not that easy. They have made it very complicated. Have patience. Sir, how much tax I am supposed to pay? Have patience. Now there are two possibilities. First, listen here. Possibility number one. Listen. Shall I say? No ROI filed earlier. Can I file an updated return directly? This is the first possibility. Okay. Second possibility. ROI filed earlier and I want to increase the income. Can I file updated return? Yes. These are the two possibilities which are there. Okay. First possibility is what? You have not filed ROI. Second possibility, you have filed ROI. And now you want to increase income. If you want to decrease income, don't come. Go home. Don't come. If it's a loss case, don't come. Okay? If it's a search case, survey case, conviction under different laws, don't come. Right or not, beta? We are not interested in this today. We are interested in this today. Assume that there is a person who has not filed the ROI. Then he should have filed the ROI by 31st of December 2022. He has missed that date also. He has missed that date also. Now he wants to file an updated return. He can file with a cost. He can file with a cost. So what is the cost? Pay absolute attention. This is the cost. Computation of additional tax. He has to pay. What is the additional tax? Listen carefully now, please. The additional tax payable at the time of furnishing what? This is the what? This is the cost of filing updated return. Okay. Shall be calculated as follows. If the updated return is furnished after expiry of time available under 139.4 or 139.5, but before completion of 12 months from the end of the relevant AY, okay, then you have to pay extra tax, additional tax it is, of 25% of the aggregate tax plus surcharge and cess and interest as computed above. Okay. Now, what do I mean by this? Just pay attention. In the bracket, you write interest plus fee. It's not only interest, it's interest plus fee. Everything I'll explain in detail, don't worry. Just wait for some time. If you furnish the return after 12 months, but before 24 months, you have to pay 50% of the tax, plus surcharge, plus health and education cess, plus C, interest as computed above, interest plus fee, in fact it is. Write down over here. Now what do I mean by this? Listen carefully. Listen. This is previous year 21-22. Assessment year 22-23. I should have filed a return till 31st December 2022. Agree? Everyone agrees to it? Please tell me. But I have not filed. So I have missed all the due dates. Now only option available is what? Till which date? Tell me again and again. March 2025. But it will come at a cost, right? Now what is the cost? If I file till 31st March 2024, file till what? Then the cost is 25%. 25% of what? That we are supposed to compute. That we are supposed to learn. And if I file after this, then what is the cost? 50% of something. Of what? That we are supposed to learn. Yes or no? Is it clear to everyone? So we need to learn what is that amount of which we are going to pay the cost. Okay. Shall we? So let's read now. Have patience, beta. Have patience. This is the manner of calculating tax. Mode of computation of tax, including additional tax, is given by section 140B as follows. As I have told you, there are two possibilities. Which possibilities? Pay attention on the board. One is where the assessee has not filed the return. He directly wants to file an updated return, right? Second is he has filed the return earlier. Now he wants to increase the income, right? I am not interested in the second one now. I am interested in the first one. Shall we start? So can I say his first return in life is updated return? He has not filed the return earlier. So now what he will do? Listen, let's see. Where the assessee has not furnished the return earlier. Correct? Where no return of income under section 139(1) or 139(4) has been furnished by an assessee. He shall. Are you listening, beta? Each and every word clearly? Every word has to be listened carefully. Where no return of income under 139(1) or 139(4) has been furnished by the assessee. He shall, before furnishing the updated return under section 139(8)(a), is liable to pay what? L. Underline tax. Together with what? Underline interest, step by step. And what? Fee payable under any provision of the Act for delay in furnishing the return, or any default. What do you mean by default in or delay in payment of advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? What do you mean by — which interest is chargeable for default in paying advance tax? Then default, for default 234p, right? And for delay, which interest? Write down. Okay? And which interest is paid for not filing the return on time? 234A, right? And this is the reason, beta, we have not taken this topic along with ROI chapter. Because if I would have taken this topic along with ROI chapter, you would have not understood anything. For that, you need to first understand which chapter, beta? Advanced tax. Yes or no? We will again read the entire paragraph. Bhavisha, where are you, beta? Are you there? Don't miss this particular part. I am reading. Where no return of income has been furnished under 139(1) or 4 has been furnished by an assessee, he shall, before furnishing the updated return under 139(8), is liable to pay tax. This is the first thing he is supposed to pay, together with interest and fee. For what? Why is he paying this interest? Tell me please, why is he paying this interest? Read the sentence ahead. For delay in furnishing interest, that is 234A, right? And which fee is paying? For delay in furnishing return, that is 234F, right? Or default or delay in payment of advance, along with the payment of advance tax. The tax payable shall be computed after considering the following. You have to consider all these things and compute the tax. Let's see what all things. Consider what? Tell me. Advance tax. If it is paid, then give the credit of that. Okay? Are yes or no? Are tell me. It is possible or not he has paid some advance tax here? It is possible or not his TDS is deducted? Next. Some relief might have been claimed under 80, 9, 90, 90A. Yes or no? The last but not least. Some MAT or AMT credit he might have taken, right? Such updated return shall also be accompanied by proof of payment of such tax, additional tax, interest, fee under 234F. Just go through this paragraph once and then we will try to understand this with the help of an example. Okay, beta? Start your video. Chalo, let's see a question, shall we? With the question, you will be getting clarity. Without question, obviously, you will not understand the implication of this. Now, have you read this paragraph properly? Sure? Chalo, let's understand with the help of an example. This example is there in your question bank, page number 32.9, which covers questions on Finance Act 22 amendments. Mr. X is a 34 years old resident individual. He does not submit his return of income. Okay. Shall I go ahead? For the AY 21-22, under 139.1, under 139.4. See the AY, which AY it is? Which AY it is? 21-22. So updated return can be filed till which date? 24. Right? Updated return can be filed till which date? 31st March 2024. Right? Now, Income Tax Department has not initiated any proceedings so far. Is it correct? What would happen if they would have initiated? Then he cannot file updated return, right? Now, he intends to submit updated return for AY 21-22 under section 139 8A on 29th November. Now, if he intends to submit on 29th November 2022, how much additional tax he is supposed to pay? Array, is it within 12 months or is it after 12 months? How much additional tax he is supposed to pay now? 25% he will be liable to pay, right? Of what amount? 25% of what amount? Listen carefully. 25% of the aggregate tax which we are going to compute as per this formula. Yes or no? Clear? Shall we read the question ahead? So now let's see. His estimated income is how much? 45,15,000. This is his income. Advance tax is this. TDS, TCS is this. Credit available is this. Audit is not required under 44AB or under any provisions of the Act or under any other law. Therefore, his due date is what? His due date is 31st July, ignoring any extension. X wants to know whether or not updated return can be submitted and the tax liability which is required to pay. Now, just wait. Just wait. He can submit updated return. Definitely. See here, beta. See here. He can definitely submit updated return. Why? Because his liability is going to increase. First of all. Yes or no? Secondly, his assessment is not pending, nor he is convicted in any law, etc., etc. Right or not? Nor it's a case of search and survey, etc. Right? So, our objective now is to compute additional tax. For that additional tax, we need to compute tax as per this now. So, what all things have to be considered over here? Please tell me. First, what you will consider from the beginning? You will compute the tax of this person. Then 234 ABC. Then 234F. And then you will give the credit of all those things to him, right? Now, let's see. Let's compute that now. Patiently. He is 34 years old. 45,15,000 is his income. Let's compute tax, please. How much tax will come? Step by step. Including cess. Surcharge will not apply because income is less than 50 crore, right? How much tax is coming? $12,13,680. Did you get this? This is the tax amount. You can check over here. Okay? Is it clear? Now just be patient, beta. Just pay attention what I am trying to do over here. Just be patient. Shall I say? You will understand everything, don't worry. It's slightly tricky. You have to do this sum at your end once more at home. Then you will get grip of this. Now wait. This is the tax, right? Now I am removing TDS. I am removing advance tax from this. The reason I am telling you why. Just wait. I am removing TDS. I am removing advance tax. I will get this number. Okay. Now just wait. Just wait. In the tax amount. Am I also supposed to add 234 A, B, C and F? Please tell me. Am I supposed to add 234 A, B, C and F? Yes. Now let's add 234A first. Okay. Now just wait. Going back to the previous chapter. Wait. Previous chapter. 234A. Why it is imposed? Because you do not file the return. In this case, to associate has not filed the return only, na? So he will be chargeable with interest from 1st August 2021 till the date of filing the updated return, na? When is he filing the updated return? He is filing the updated return on 29th November 2022, right? So he will be chargeable interest from year till year, na? Just wait. See on the board. At 1%. Just wait. Now tell me, on how much amount 234A is imposed? Tax minus TDS minus advance tax. So you will be paying on this amount, na? Is it clear? 234A? Check the calculation of 234A. That is the reason this chapter couldn't have been done before advance tax. Don't go ahead. Is it clear? See here. 234B. Don't see the answer. See to me. 234B. From when it is chargeable? Till when? Assessment. Here assessment is not happening. Here we are filing the return. So till the date of filing of return? Yes? Check. At how much rate? 1%. The amount is same only, na? Tax minus TDS minus advance tax. Right? Clear? Now see here. Please see here. 234C is charged quarterly. Now apply common sense and tell me on how much amount. We have learned that. Tax minus what? 234C is charged on how much amount? Tax minus what? Advance tax you reduce while computing 234C. Then tax minus what? Tax due on returned income, na? What is that tax, yaar? We have done today also, yesterday also. So tell me the amount, na? That is the reason I have given the breakup on the board itself. On 1143 you pay 234C, na beta? Yes or no, yaar? Now, is the assessee paid any advance tax in any of the quarter? Check. If he has paid in any of the quarter, in that quarter we have to reduce that much. Has he paid? Has he paid in first quarter? In first quarter has he paid? In second quarter? In third quarter? In fourth quarter he has paid. So check the calculation of 234C now. First quarter 1143, 15% into 3. Right? Into 3 months it is not 3%. Second quarter 1143 into 45 into 3 months. Right? Third quarter 1143 into 75 into 3. But in fourth quarter, you will not take 1143, you will take 843. Did you understand? Because he has paid on 4th Jan 3 lakh rupees into 1 month. Clear? This is 54,752. Right? Now, is he also supposed to pay 234F because he is not filing the return on time? 5,000 that will be added back. Okay? So now, please tell me. See here. Have we got this amount after tax? Listen to my words carefully. Is this amount after tax? After interest under 234 ABC? After fee under 234F? And after reducing advance tax, TDS, etc.? Is this amount after all those things? So can I say now I finally got the amount which the government is asking over here? Yes? Check. Have we got tax? See on the board. Have we got tax? I'll change the color. Have we got tax? Have we got interest under 234A? Have we added fee also? Have we added 234A, 234B, 234C? And have we considered all these things also? That is, we have reduced all these things. So this is the amount. This is the amount on which you will pay what? 25% additional tax under 140B. Now don't be under an impression. This too you have to pay only anyways. This too, if you would have filed the return on time, then also you would have paid. And this too, even if you would have filed a belated return, then also you have paid now. So you are getting this benefit to file return till 2 years at an extra cost of 3,01,782. I hope you understood this particular point. Did you understand? So this is what this provision is all about. It is not completed. We have completed the first position. Which position? Where earlier the assessee has not filed the return. And now he is filing what? The return. But there is one more possibility, na beta. What is that possibility? That earlier you have shown 10 lakh income and now you want to increase your income. Yes or no? That we are not going to do today. We'll do it tomorrow. Because that itself is a very big exercise to explain from the very scratch. Okay. I request you all to please read this provision tomorrow and come till here. And also see this question once more. Okay. Please beta. Otherwise you will have a trouble tomorrow. Please. And it's a very important provision. It's a new provision. So we cannot ignore it. It's an absolutely Finance Act 22 fresh amendment. Okay. So let us continue the discussion of updated return which we have started in the last lecture. Okay. So pay attention please all of you. So yesterday we have seen one case of updated return whereby you have not filed the return earlier and now you are filing directly an updated return. Okay. So let's see the second case where you have furnished an updated return earlier. So now you are filing another, you have furnished a return earlier under 139.1 or 139.4 or 139.5. Okay. You have furnished return in either of the section. So now you want to update that return by increasing the income. You want to increase the income and you want to update the return. So what is the consequence? How the tax will be computed in that case? Okay, we have to see that. Shall we? Pay attention. So this is how the tax will be computed. and whatever tax will be computed, we have to pay 25% or 50% additional tax on that. Okay. Now let's see. Let's read this paragraph once. There is some mistake in this. I would like to rectify that first, and then only we will be able to understand the provision. Page number 29.2. Let's read this. All of us together. Where the assessee has furnished return earlier. If an assessee has furnished return under section 139.1 or 139.4 or 139.5, that is normal return, belated return or revised return, he before submitting the updated return is required to pay what? Required to pay what? Tax. Is required to pay tax. Underline tax. Together with interest payable. Together with what? Interest payable. Under any provision for what? Default or delay in payment of advance tax. What do you mean by default in payment of advance tax? Default means 234B. Delay means 234C. Right or not? Along with the payment of additional tax. Okay, and then there is something written over here. As reduced by, underline, by the interest paid in the earlier return. Okay, there are a lot of things over here. We will try to understand this, each and everything with the help of an example. Don't worry. But still, let's read once more. If an assessee has furnished return, let's make a count of how many items are mentioned over here. If an assessee has furnished return under section 139(1), 4 or 5, he before submitting the return is liable to first of all what? Pay what? Pay tax. First item. Second, he is liable to pay interest under 234B. Then interest under 234C. Right? Then he is supposed to pay additional tax. As reduced by what? The amount of interest paid in the earlier return. Hello, let's see. We'll see how to interpret. How to interpret this. The tax payable shall be computed after considering the following. Now, let's number it. Let's number this as number 1. Number 1. After considering what? The amount of relief or tax referred to in 140A1. Now, what is referred to in 140A1? Just underline that and let's give the breakup of this. 140A1 has lot of things. Let me give you the detail of this. Just write down. 140A1 includes which all things? It includes TDS, TCS, Section 89 relief, Section 90 relief, Section 90A relief, Section 91 relief, Section 115JAA, Section 115JD, and advance tax. Which is paid earlier. 140A includes all these things. If you go to section 140A, open 140A in Income Tax Act, Where Act, you will find out all these things. It will take time for us to understand this concept. Just wait for some time. The tax payable shall be computed after considering the following. First, the amount of relief or tax referred to in which tax? TDS, relief, 115JAA, 115JD, advance tax paid earlier, comma, the credit for which has been taken in earlier return. Underline this particular line, very important. The credit for which has been taken in what? Earlier return. Underline this. Shall I go ahead? Second point is missing over here. I'm sorry for that. This is second, this is third, this is fourth. Second one is missing over here. Please write down now. The second point over here. Any relief under section 89, under section 90, 90A, 91, for which credit was not claimed earlier. Just write down this. This is missing in the textbook. Written. Third thing which you have to consider is TDS or TCS or any income which is subject to such deduction or collection and which has been taken into account in computing the total income and which has not been underlined claimed in the earlier return. Here also it was not claimed in earlier return. What do I mean by this? We'll come to that, don't worry. The last one is any MAT or AMT credit, again which has not been taken into earlier return. Okay. Now I request you all to go from here till here. At least 2-3 times with minute detailing. Read each and every line very carefully. From here till here. Please. Red beta, red. Now one more thing we'll just see, that's a formality. Even if we don't see that, it's okay, but still we'll see that once. How to calculate interest under 234B where an earlier return is furnished. Okay, let's see that also once and then we'll move on to understand the question. Where an earlier return has been furnished, interest payable under 234B shall be computed on an amount equal to assessed tax or on the amount by which the advance tax paid falls short of the assessed tax. For this purpose, assessed tax means the tax on total income as declared in the updated return after considering the following. Okay. So what all relief we give to claim advance to compute 234B, we give everything, na? We give all relief like the amount of relief or tax referred in 140A1. What is referred in 140A1? Just give the breakup once again. TDS, TCS, section 90, 91, 90A, 89 relief, advance tax, MAT AMT, all these credits are there. The credit for which has been taken in the earlier return. Then what you will consider? TDS, TCS on any income declared in updated return which has not been claimed in the earlier return. Same just like the previous page. I'll try to explain you the implication of this with the help of example, don't worry. Any relief or deduction which has not been claimed in the earlier return. Any AMT MAT which has not been claimed in the earlier return. Okay, now what do I mean by this? Pay absolute attention now. The entire catch lies in this paragraph. Let's try to understand with the help of an example now. This example will explain us in a better way. Bhavisha, you will struggle a bit because you have missed the initial part of the discussion. So try to understand please, or else you can see the things later on. Shall we start with this question? Please start your videos, please. Question number 6. X is 44 years old, is a resident individual, and for AY 21-22, he submits the return of income under 139.4 on Jan 20th, 2022. Now, first argument which you will make. Sir, how he can file the return for AY 21-22 on Jan 20th, 2022? You'll make this argument or not? Then what should be your argument then? Yes, he should have filed till 31st December 2021. No. Earlier, the time limit to file the return was till March. Okay. Just 1 year before, they have reduced the time limit till December. Okay. Okay, beta. So there is nothing wrong in this 20th Jan 2022 date. Is it clear? Okay. The following information is taken from the intimation. Taken from where? Intimation under 143.1 pertaining to what? Assessment year 21-22. Tax audit not required. Due date of submission of return is what? 31st July. Now this is the data taken from his intimation. Now what is the data? Net income 20,25,000. Okay. Then there is tax. Tax they have computed and they have given to us 4,36,800. Just try to understand the things. Implication of this section. Then, obviously, in the income tax return, he might have claimed some TDS and TCS, yes or no? So, he has got the credit of that. Okay. Obviously, in the income tax return, originally filed under 139.4, he might have claimed some advance tax. So, he has claimed some advance tax which was paid on 20th November 2020 after 2 quarters, right? After 2 quarters, right? Is it clear, beta? Now, please pay absolute attention. Please start your video, please, beta. Pay absolute attention now. Will he liable for 234A? Normally, not now I'm asking normally. Forget about updated returns and all. We are not going to updated return now. We are normally now filing the normal return. Will he be liable for interest under 234A? Why? Because he is supposed to file the return by July and he is filing in the month of Jan. Yes? So he will be liable for 234A. Yes or no? 1% on what amount? 234A is paid on this amount, na? Arre, 234A is paid after taking TDS advance tax both, na? For how many months? For 6 months. Is it clear? August, September, October, November, December, Jan. Clear? Similarly, will he be liable for 234B 1% for 10 months? From April to Jan? Clear? He is liable for April to Jan. Okay. And on the same amount, 234B is also on the same amount, na beta? Now 234C is on which amount? 234C is before advance tax. Yes? So in the first quarter, he will pay 15% of 306 for 3%, 3 months, sorry. Second quarter, 45%, 306, 3 months. But in third quarter, he will get deduction of 1 lakh rupees. Are you able to understand that? Because on 20th November, he has paid 1 lakh rupees. Beta till year, na, it is like a normal advance tax question only. Just check. Okay? Is it clear? So total tax, total self-assessment tax will include all these things, right? 256, 381. Is it clear till year to everyone? Sure? Okay, beta. Now I'm just giving the breakup of this. Okay, breakup is what? 206,800 is tax. 12,408 is 234A. 20,680 is 234B. 11,493 is 234C. And 5,000 is 234F. Is it clear? I'm just giving a breakup. Okay. Now my intimation will look something like this. Okay. My intimation will look something like this. And there will be nothing payable in my intimation because I have shown everything correctly so far. So as per intimation, the tax is coming how much? The tax is coming 436,800. Okay. I am showing 436,800 as intimation. Okay. Then this is the interest. This is the total interest which I am adding over here. Then fee. And then I will say that I have already paid 486,380 in the form of taxes earlier. Is it clear till here? So till here also I can say there is nothing new which we have done. Is it clear? There is no intention till here of what? Showing what? Of showing additional income to the income tax authority. Yes or no? Till now we are not having any information of showing extra income, right? So let's introduce that now. Let's now introduce the second part, which is this chapter. For AY 21-22, X wants to what? Declare. Underline additional income of how much? 35,50,000. Okay. Which was not included in what? In the original return by mistake of his accountant. Okay. Now we will say that only now by mistake of his accountant. He will not say I will deliberately miss. Okay, beta. Now let's apply with some common sense. If you have not claimed that income, if you have not shown that income in the return earlier, you would have not shown the TDS also of that amount, na? You would have not claimed. There might be possibility that on this 35,50,000 some TDS was also deducted. You might have not shown that also. If it is missed, then both should have missed, na? See, so against which TDS against this income is rupees underline 2,80,000. How much? Which was also not claimed in the original return. Okay. Is it clear till here? Chalo, abhi we will compute the income of him. Am I supposed to now accumulate both the income and then compute the tax? Obviously, na, he has to include that income, this income, compute both. Yes? And then see how much tax he has already paid. Balance he has to pay, right? Let's do the computation totally now. Now we are making normal computation. Normal. I am still not going for additional tax. Additional tax computation I will do later on. Normal computation. What will come in normal computation? Original income 20 lakh 25, undisclosed income 35. Is it clear? Total 5575. Now because of this, what will happen? Now you will compute tax, and now when you compute tax, you also have to take 10% surcharge now, because now your income is above 50 lakhs. Is it clear? Now this, against this you will get credit of 2 TDS, right? Take old TDS and 1 new TDS. So I am taking the credit of both the TDS, right? You have also paid advance tax earlier. I will take the credit of that also. Please tell me, beta. Plus you have also paid some self-assessment tax earlier, na? You will take the credit of that also, and differential amount you have to pay, right? Now please apply your mind and tell me, am I supposed to pay some additional interest now? Apply common sense. Because earlier you have computed interest based on 20 lakhs. Now are you supposed to pay some extra interest? Tell me na please, beta. Definitely na, beta. Earlier you have paid interest as per 20 lakhs 25,000 na. Now you have to pay extra interest also na, beta, because you have not shown that income earlier. So shall we compute that interest? Let's compute that interest now. Pay attention please. We are computing interest now. Just see what all things I have taken over here. Just pay attention. Just pay attention. I am computing interest for late payment or short payment of advance tax. Okay, interest under 234B. Please see here. Interest, from here the real critical point start. Just for the next 5 minutes, if you pay attention, the things are clear. 234B starts from where? Till right, till filing of return or till assessment of that particular thing, right? Now just wait. He has submitted return on which date? 10th March 2024. Okay, just 20 days before the 2 years end. Okay, now let's compute 234B. How I will compute 234B? Just wait. 234B is computed on this amount, right? After reducing advance tax. So listen carefully now. Listen carefully. 11,88,000 8%. 840 into 1%. From 1st April to 20th Jan. Okay. Now on 20th Jan, see here, on 20th Jan, is he paying 206,800 as income tax? Can you see that? So after 20th Jan, he will not be liable for this amount now for interest. You remember in advance tax also in 234B we have done 2 segregations. So here also you have to do 2 segregation. From Feb onwards he will be liable to pay on 982. Is it clear? Check the answer please. Because this much amount was paid on 20th Jan. So after 20th Jan, that is from Feb onwards, you will not be liable to pay interest on 206,800. Is it clear? So how much interest is coming under 234B? 374,200. Okay. Is it clear? 234C. On what amount 234C is paid? Please tell me first of all. Tell me. 1288, 840, right? So first quarter 1288, second quarter 1288, but third quarter 1288 minus 1 lakh, right? And fourth quarter also 1288 minus 1 lakh, which is 1188, right? This is 61,085. Okay. Now this so you have to pay. All these things you have to pay. Even if updated return concept would have not been there, you have to pay. Is everyone clear till here? Now, the last part comes. And that is how to compute extra cost. First of all, he is filing the return on 10th of March 2024. The extra cost will be how much? It will be 50%. Clear na? Now 50% of what? We have to read this paragraph. As I have told you earlier, you read this absolutely clearly. Let's read once again. Shall I, beta? If an assessee has furnished the return under subsection 1, 4 or 5, he is liable to pay tax, okay, together with interest under any provision for default or delay. He is liable to pay tax, okay, together with interest. With interest. Which interest? For default. For default, which interest is there? 234 B is there. Or for delay, which interest is there? 234C. Along with payment of additional tax. As reduced by what? Underline. As reduced by what? Amount of paid in earlier return. Okay. The tax payable shall be computed after considering the following. Okay. The amount of relief or tax referred to in, that is TDS, TCS, relief, 115JEE, MAT, AMT credit, advance tax, credit for which has been taken in earlier return. Okay. Any relief, 89, 90, the credit for which was not taken. TDS, the credit for which was not taken. MAT, AMT, the credit for which was not taken. Now, you have to be very careful with this particular lines now. There is a great difference between the first point, listen carefully, be patient enough. There is a great difference between the first point and the next 3 points. What difference can you find out between the two? Can you tell me the difference? Point number 1, what comes? That tax, that relief, that advance tax, that AMT MAT credit comes for which you have taken the credit in the earlier return, right? And point number 2, 3, 4 covers what? Which was not claimed in earlier. It means it was missed in earlier return and now you are showing in the updated return, right? This is what the bifurcation is between 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now be very careful now. Every point I can explain you with the help of the reasoning, okay? Every point. Just pay attention. 140B subsection 3. We are computing now additional tax. For computing additional tax, we need to make a calculation. What is the calculation? We have to take the tax first of all. Just wait now. How this tax has come? This tax is same as this one, okay? 1698, 840. Are they right or not? So now I am just doing the calculation which is mentioned over here. Okay. I am just making the calculation which is mentioned over here, beta. I am not doing anything extra. He is liable to pay what? He is liable to pay tax, right? So I am writing tax. I am writing step by step what is written over here. Shall I write tax over here? So I have written tax. First item is over. Okay. Shall I go ahead? Second item. I am just ignoring these points. I am just coming to this now. I am first of all reducing this. The tax should be after considering this now. So I will now reduce what? The TDS and TCS and advance tax and whatever asset tax I have paid earlier. Okay. So as per the original return, whatever tax I have paid earlier, what I have paid earlier. As per the original return, what I have paid earlier, 1,30,000 I have paid as a TDS. Advance tax, Self-assessment tax, whatever I have paid earlier, I will reduce that. Okay? Are yes or no? Now, as per point number 234, point number 234, what shall I take as per point number 234? Which was what? Not claimed earlier. So let's do what? Let's reduce that also now, which was not claimed earlier. What was not claimed earlier? Please tell me. There is only one item which was not claimed earlier. That is 2,80,000 TDS, right? So I have reached till here. Okay. Is there any relief in the question? No. Is there any MAT credit in the question? AMT credit in the question? No. Is it clear? So now just try to understand what I have done. They have made this computation hell lot of confusing. But we need to understand with the word by word interpretation. Now just one thing is pending over here. That's it. You just let me know what all things I have taken. Have I taken the tax payable? Have I taken this? Have I considered this which I have ignored, which I have not taken earlier? Now there is only one thing which is pending. Can you please tell me what? That I am supposed to take in this calculation. And that is this line. Yes or no? This line is pending now. Apart from that, I have taken everything else. You can check. Only this line is pending. You can check. Have I taken the part before the orange part? What is before orange? It's a pure interpretation of law, beta. What is before orange? Tax. Have I taken the tax? What is after orange? You have to take the credit of all the items which you have claimed earlier and which you have not claimed earlier. Both have to be taken consideration. Have we taken that also? Just orange part is pending. Yes or no? Now what is that orange part? Let's read. Shall we read, beta? Is liable to tax together with what? Interest payable under any provision of Act for any what? Default or delay, that is 234B, 234C. In payment of advance tax along with the payment of additional tax as reduced by what? As reduced by what? The amount of interest paid in earlier return. So now what we will do? We have already computed 234B and 234C. Just wait. See here. We have computed here 234B and 234C in the earlier calculation. Just wait now. What was 234B? 370. I'll do orange here. 374, 200. 234C, 61,085. Now please tell me, am I supposed to add this also to my computation? Beta, read English. Read English. Together with, am I supposed to add this also to my tax computation? Yes. So I will add this. Okay. I will add these two, right? Please tell me. Beta. But it is written in the last line. Something is written. As reduced by what? Interest paid in earlier return. So what was the interest paid in earlier return? 234B and 234C. Is this the interest paid in earlier return? Tell me now please, beta. So is this the interest as per 234B and C now minus the interest paid earlier this? Beta, I am explaining the interpretation of the line which has been said by the government. Did you understand? So is this the interest which we are paying now minus is this the interest which we have paid in earlier return? So they are telling us to add the differential amount. Did you understand what I said? Beta, did you understand what I said? So that is the reason now I am adding this differential amount here. Check. Can you see that? Because the law says that you have to consider the new interest minus the interest which you have paid earlier. Why we will take tax on that amount? Because that you have paid earlier, na? We don't want to take additional tax on that amount. We want to take additional tax on only extra interest. Are you understanding? So they are taking additional tax on extra interest. Now just read that entire paragraph which we were reading. What does it include, beta? Does it include tax? Does it include interest minus earlier interest? Does it include credit of all these things? So whatever amount comes after that, you will pay what? Beta, how much tax? 50% tax on that. Is it clear to all of you? And therefore, this is how the computation will be made. In practical life, you don't have to worry about anything. Why? Software has been made according to that. Software computes everything very precisely. You have to just mention over there that this is a case of what? 139.8a updated return. Is it clear? But in exam, software is not going to come. In exam, but initially I feel so they will ask you a simple question, not as complicated as this. But I have to explain you the implication of the provision. And that is the reason I have to consider this. Okay, is it clear? So it's a complicated provision, I agree. It's a difficult provision. I tried to explain you with word by word what the law has said. Each and every provision which the law has said. Okay. Now, one just practical advice that I can give you. If you want, you can take it. If you don't want, you can ignore it. Okay. That is just practically relevant, not academic. For that, you might require yesterday what we have done, knowledge of that. Okay. Shall I say? Now, just let me ask you one thing. Which year is going on today? Which year? Financial year? 22-23 is going on. Okay. Suppose if a person it's wrong to write failed to file. Suppose if a person is not eligible to file return, not eligible to file return because his income is total income is what? Below. So can he file the return for previous year 2021 year in the form of updated return and show the income as 1.9 lakhs? Can he do so? Please tell me. There is a person who is not eligible to file the return, but he wants to file the return. Because why? Why? Because sometimes if you want to go to bank and take a loan, then they ask for ITR of last 2-3 years. Yeah. For that purpose, I want him to file the return. Can he file the updated return? Why no? Where the provision is stopping him? Please tell me. Which point provision is stopping? No. It's nowhere written your liability should increase. It's written your liability should not decrease. See. It's written your liability should not decrease. It's nowhere written your liability should increase. Check. Where it is written, beta? Check. Where? It's written it should not decrease the total tax liability. Can you see that? Will he come under this point? No? No, beta. So for your kind information, tell me if any clause can stop him. Any clause? He's a normal assessee, not covered under search and seizure, not covered, not convicted under any law. Nothing like that. Can he file the updated return? And the answer is yes. He can file. He can file. There are a lot of people who have filed also this year. There are a lot of people who have filed an updated return this year in the month of July. Okay. Now, there is no consequence on the assessee. Why there is no consequence? Because there is no tax payable now. If there would have been tax payable now, there would have been interest under 234A, B, C. Yes or no? This is a nil return, na beta. So even today, Today, the due date of filing of return has also gone by, na? Yes or no? Even today, you can file the updated return of 2021. Why? Because 21 means 21-22. And 21-22 means you can file till which date? 31st March 2020. Okay? In practical life, if any client comes and tells you that I want to file an updated return, I want to file a return, I don't have any income, then file it. If he comes and tells you, I want to file a return and there is an income, then tell him the consequence, you have to bear the extra cost. Is it clear? So this is what this topic is all about. You cannot ignore this topic. You can hate this topic, but you cannot ignore. You have to consider this for the exams. Precisely, if they have to ask, they will ask you the first part of this topic in the exam, at least in the first few attempts, which is about what? You have not filed the return earlier. You are directly filing an updated return. That was an easy one. There was nothing great in that. Okay. But if you have filed the return earlier, now you are again filing the return, then you have to make a long computation. And then you have to find out how to compute additional tax. And for computing additional tax, what all components have to be taken? Tax, interest under 234B, 234C, minus paid earlier. Then credit taken earlier, credit not taken earlier. You have to reduce all those things. Is it clear?